what it means in terms of the technique, but in translation, it's called the way of the joint, as in Strauss's street. This is done from the inside line again, where instead of grabbing his leg or anything else, I wind in with my pommel and find out his strong. So let's say you probably attack from flute, and I will defend here. So you thrust, and I'll be on the outside line. What I do is I reach underneath his pommel, drive from either cross or the inside line. Similar thing. I was just on the inside line. Oh, this is the outside line. Okay. Inside line. I was just on the inside. Yeah. Okay, now let's do the outside line. Right? So from the outside line, it's reasonably similar, where I have to strike more like that. I would say the inside line is my preference. Yeah, where you cross, you make against his thumb underneath, or you can crumple their structure that way. So inside line, you thrust, and you get underneath, and I have pressure now against his wrist, not against his sword. And break against his thumb, right? And he lost control of his sword, but look where he is now. Whereas his sword's free, and my openings are there, I guess. But I'm in armor, and he doesn't have any rotation to cut me with, right? So this moves on to a throw of some variety, right? It can work against ox as well. And in this method, I would go under. So you thrust, I'll set off line to the outside. Thrust, I'm on the outside. I got this line here. So watch that. He's an ox. I set offline to the outside. I'm pretty much catching with my strong rather than my weak, right? I'm here because I need to wind my pommel over his wrist, and then my point goes across, or my point goes over his shoulder into him. Okay? Yeah. Outside line, I cover, I create this big window for me, I go underneath the window, I drive from offline, or I can just drive from down. Right?
That one doesn't break against the thumb, so do be careful.
Yeah, that one doesn't have a stopping point because you're against their chest and their hands are crossed. But from the lower position, again, this is the inside line. I got the inside. We'll try the outside line again with that lower one. You get the outside line. That's how to keep the hand from breaking against the thumb, is that elbow placement over the sword. So outside line from the lower opening is pushing off line. Again, I'm dipping that pommel over to his wrist or wherever I can get it. My van brace is really doing a lot of the work here because I'm just crumpling the structure. As long as I can get over this sword, then I can crumple the structure. This could potentially just be a disarm, which works great. And we'll look at another disarm in a second. That's more of a dedicated disarm. But so again, let's look at our main options. I would say if you thrust from below, I can go inside line and then just basically reach his thumb away, which it gives me the option to disable his weapon slightly, but I shouldn't stay there because he can grab it again, or he can swing around and maybe cut me in the foot or something if he feels like that's something he can do. I should immediately move on to some kind of wrestling from there, right? From the outside line, lower opening, I push to the outside, my pommel, my hands are kind of crossed, my pommel comes over, and I twist, okay? And that's another disarm. Okay? Upper one again is he thrusts me, I create this opening underneath, I wind my pommel under him, and then I drive him down. Okay? And that's a really effective arm bar, so be careful when you apply that. Okay?
Is there also one for that upper on the outside line?
Upper on the outside line. In the book, you're talking about the inside line for this, but okay. I would create that same opening. Okay. But then it becomes a disarm again because I'm pushing against his thumb the other way.
Okay.
So from the upper opening, inside line, eye line, but it just takes away his sword.
Okay.
And I need to follow up that immediately with wrestling so
Something,
that I don't just let him have a free tempo to grab the sword.
I got it. Pommel strike.
Yeah, pommel strike.
Alright.
Yeah, it could immediately be pommel strike.
Super.
Yep. Okay, any questions?